There are different methods to solve a Rubik's Cube. By time, the CFOP method has become one of the most popular methods to solve the Rubik's Cube. On today's video, I'm going to show you how to solve the Rubik's Cube using the CFOP method. The CFOP method was invented by Jessica Friedrich, and currently it's the most popular 3x3 speed solving method. This method is also known as the Friedrich method, but most of the people now call it as CFOP method. This method has 4 steps according to its name. The word C stands for cross, the word F stands for F12, the word O stands for OLL, and the word P stands for PLL. So if you know the beginner's method, in the beginner's method we solve each layer at a time, but the CFOP method also uses this same kind of idea to solve the cube. So in CFOP method, you start by making a cross. Now, difference between the cross of beginner's method versus the CFOP method cross are a lot. In CFOP method, we do the cross which is called advanced cross. Now, basically, if you do cross in any ways, this would be called a cross. So what's the difference between beginner method cross versus advanced cross? Basically, that in advanced cross, you solve the cross in less moves and try to solve it more faster. So in beginner cross, many people actually do cross in the top layer, which is pretty easy to see the cross pieces, but the problem is that when you are going to do your F12 pair, it's really hard to actually understand your first F12 pair, and you need to just flip the cube to just go for your F12. So this is a pause and this is another big pause, which may make your solve really slow. So now many people actually make the cross using a method called daisy method, which is I see actually many people make this. So the reason daisy is easy for beginners because it uses a pretty easy technique to just make a daisy and just go to directly to solve the cross. So what you do actually in the daisy method, you actually make all the edges in the top there so they become easier to solve, and then you just insert them according to their color. The people who are doing daisy, I would recommend you guys to just try to insert one edge in its correct spot and then trying to insert others in its correct spot. I would recommend you to do this practice a little bit, then you can be able to do the advanced cross. Now for doing the advanced cross, the ideas are basically same, but just using some different concepts, you can just make your cross much faster. So first thing is you need to make your cross on the bottom layer, because next step is F12, what you also need to do in this way. So you need to do the cross on bottom. So making the cross on bottom first might be a little bit really hard for many people, but I would recommend you to do the cross on the bottom layer as always. So now some mindsets that actually change the whole thing between the beginner cross versus the advanced cross. Now first of all, you see the center pieces. So the center pieces always remain in the center, and if they rotate, it actually doesn't have any meaning. So if this actually rotates, so currently it's not rotating, in some loose cube it might rotate, or when you do this, so this is rotating, you can see this thing is rotating. So if it is rotate, still it is what it was. So as the center pieces are not going to move, you just need to remember the orientation of the centers, and remembering the orientation of the centers, if you place the edges whatever they actually should be, and then you need to fix it. I'm showing an example for this. For example, in this, so if I just place the red here and then I place the blue, okay, so you can see I can place the red here and then I can place the green because green is on the right of the red, and I can place the blue here. You can see that they actually didn't still match with it, but if you just do a D moves, you can see they actually become solved. So this is a really basic idea for making your cross much faster. So this is another really good idea. It is called inserting multiple pieces at a time. So in basic cross, you just insert one piece at a time, and another piece might take more moves to solve. But instead of doing that, if you just could place this on the top of it, when you are going to solve this is going to be also really easy. Now these are basically two really basic things, and you can just turn this to any other tips. I have a full cross tutorial how to make your cross much faster. You can watch that. So I'm showing you some other tricks on some things. So for example, if you have this, instead of just taking it out and inserting it, you can just use this idea that this is going to go there. So you can just move the cross and insert it like that. Or you can use another idea, which is just using one piece to insert another. So you can use this piece to solve this guy, and you can just make your cross. Now here's a basic example of the cross. So you might see there's the red and there's the blue. So we know that blue is on the left of the red, so we can just place it like this. So we're gonna do a B move to solve it. And then we also know that green is actually on the left of orange, so we can use this insert to make this much easier. So and we need to give a D2 to finish the cross. So the cross is going to look like this. So it's much faster. Now let's talk about F2L. F2L means first two layers. In beginner's method, you solve each layer at a time, which makes the thing much harder, and it makes more time than what you require. So the idea is also pretty simple. You just need to solve first and second layer together. For example, this. So you need to solve this 4 pairs, which are not going to take that much time. So F2L is known as the most important part, also the most hardest part of the entire CFOP method. But really talking, F2L is not that hard. For F2L, you need to rely on 4 algorithms. These algorithms are called the basic algorithms, and no matter what case you get, we're going to turn each and every single case to this 4 basic cases. So if you have this like a pair which is already made, and this actually needs to go there, so you can take this empty slot and insert this guy, which is going to be like this. So you can pretty much understand this concept also uses in the left side. Now if you have both pieces on the top layer, but you can see they have different color and they are on their opposite. So if you just take them in the pair where they're going to go and just take it out, you can see you actually pair them, and you can just solve them like this. Also, these concepts go for in the left side like this. So basically for F2L, first thing you need is to have your both first layer corner and second layer edge on the top layer. So for example, if you want to solve this one, we have the corner on the top but edges on the second layer. So for taking this out, you can just take it out like this, but remember, do not affect any other pairs. So just take in mind that you should not affect any other F2L pair. Now let's talk about some things which are really important. Now if you have this both two on the top layer, and you might see they have different colors. So as I said, if you have different colors, you need to place them opposite and solve them. As you might see, they're not in the opposite side. So what we should do now we need to hide either the corner or the edge. So for hiding the corner, you can use any empty slot, and you can just use the empty slot on the back. Now for hiding the corner, the thing you need to remember is when you're going to hide it, make sure the white is not going in the down. So you need to hide it, and then you need to place the edge on the opposite, and then you can actually solve it. Or thinking it a bit differently, you can also hide the edge. So you want to see you're going to hide the edge and place the corner right there, So actually use this empty slot and then you can actually solve it. So obviously you need to use the empty slot. Now the thing you need to remember, if they have same color on top, you want to see them in a pair, and if you have opposite colors on them, you need to see them in opposite side. So as we have same colors, we want to see them together in a pair. So you can use the same concept of hiding the corner, and instead of placing it in the opposite, we're gonna place it here so we can make our pair, and then we can insert our pair. And this is the final concept that you need to remember when you have white on top. So you need to take the edge on the top if you don't have it, and then you need to see, so then you need to actually match this color with the center, and you need to see which is the top color. So top color is orange, so we're gonna place it on the opposite color of orange, which is red. So we're gonna place it like this and bring this corner above it, and then we have those basic cases. Now sometimes you might have these things together which make things much harder. So for this you just need to split them up using an empty pair like this. So now let's just go for a full example on the F12. So we just start this by splitting them up. Now we're gonna solve this one. So you see this is blue, so we're gonna go for green. Take this like that, and we're going to insert it. Now we are going for this again. You can see they're together, so you need to split them up. So you can basically split them up using any empty pairs. You have this one, but like for example you cannot use this one, so this would affect it and be solved. So we're gonna split them up, and then as you might know, this is empty pair, so you can use it. If this was filled, we can use this as our empty pair, so we can use this one, and then just taking it down, taking above, and having this cases. So then we have this one, so we're going to take both on the top layer, and they have opposite colors, so we're going to just hide this edge this time, and then bring the corner where it needs to go, and I have those basic cases. For this we're going to take the edge on the top, and then we have those basic cases already made for us, and here's the F12. Now what's OLL and PLL? OLL means orientation of last layer. Basically in OLL you just orient everything that is in the top layer. For example this, there are 57 algorithms for this, and this might take a lot of time to remember. This might be 1 or 2 months to remember this whole thing. So the thing you just can do instead of learning them is to look OLL. Now I would recommend you learn full OLL because that's super helpful for making yourself much faster. But when you're learning this, I guess you just can go for to look OLL, and I guess to look OLL is pretty good. So the basic concept of to look OLL is making no matter what case you get into a cross case, and then solving only the cross cases. So I have a full video on this thing already on this channel, so I would recommend you to watch that thing, but still I'm just giving you some basic ideas on how can you do this. So basically first you need to make them a cross. So first, suppose you have a dot case, so we need to make our cross. So if you have this L shape, just this is one different algorithm. Just need to give a white F and then RUR prime prime and white F prime. So basically everything is same like beginner's method for making this, and then you just need to for 7 different cases. For example, for this you need to give this algorithm. For this case you need to give this algorithm. For this case you need to give this algorithm. For this case you need to give this algorithm. For this case you need to give this algorithm. For this case you need to give this algorithm. And when you're done with your oil, you need to give PL algorithms. If you have 2 bars, you need to give this algorithm, which is known as the T-prime algorithm. This goes like this, and then your all corners are solved. But if you see there are no bars, no headlights, so you need to give the Y-prime algorithm, which goes like this. And when your all corners are solved, you need to solve the edges. So basically for edges, how the way you remember is just by seeing these two. So if these two are not opposite, you need to give this algorithm. And if you have these two opposites, you can use this algorithm. So if your edges go like this, you need to use this algorithm. And if your edges goes like this, you need to use this algorithm. So for PL, there are seemingly like 21 PLs. This was just a 2-loop PL, which actually makes things much easier. But 2-loop PL is much easy to learn, and I would recommend you to learn full PL. So that's what I just go really fast in the last steps because I already have a video on them. So if you want to watch them pretty slowly, you can watch that video. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope this video helped. So for becoming more faster at CFOP method, you actually need to like learn cross-chapter transaction, many other things, full oil PL, and this all I know so far. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.